Kyle Larson's performance at Kansas Speedway emphasized NASCAR's most pressing issue. In the Advent Health 400, the Hendrick Motorsports driver led 221 of 267 laps, the highest percentage of any driver at the track since Cup Series racing began in 2001, 82.7%. So, is NASCAR bound to repeat its dominant performance and start a boring chapter of the sport? The triumph was historic. Larson began on pole, won both stages, gained the bonus point for fastest lap, and scored the maximum 61 points available. This was the first perfect race of the 2025 season. Larson defeated Christopher Bell by 0.712 seconds, earning his 32nd career Cup Series victory and tying Dale Jarrett for the all-time record. Yeah, I was trying really hard to pace myself because I believe that was our longest run of the day, and I had been struggling a little bit at the end of the runs. You know, Chase was really good, and so I felt like I just needed to try to be better on my end. And I don't know if it was paying off or not at the end. I was still struggling. I don't know if the right front was starting to wear a lot or what, but I was starting to lose a lot of grip. And then I was vibrating really bad, so I was afraid a right rear or something would let go, Larson stated. NASCAR's problem is unrelated to Larson's performance. Kansas Speedway hosts NASCAR's best racing. The asphalt on the 1.5-mile circuit has aged very well, owing to hard Midwest winters that produced good tire wear. Progressive banking generates many racing lanes. On its worst days, it is a 3-lane track that can produce 4 or even 5-wide racing immediately after restarts. Despite the compelling on-track product, the grandstands were roughly half full on Sunday. People had plenty of room to spread out, and if you looked closely, you could see that the seats in the center spelled Kansas Speedway. After years of sellouts in the 2000s and 2010s, the modest crowd highlighted NASCAR's central dilemma as it enters the 2020s and beyond. Marketing the best NASCAR track should be straightforward. Yes, Sunday's race fell on Mother's Day, and high school graduation season was in full force in Kansas City, but there was little local anticipation for the event. For many years, NASCAR weekends were significant events in this city. They recently appeared as an afterthought. This issue extends beyond Kansas City. In recent years, NASCAR has dramatically cut the size of its public relations divisions to save money. The link between these cuts and a lack of progress is hard to ignore. NASCAR continues to position itself as the dominating motorsport in the United States, but demographic challenges remain. The Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway had more total viewers than the Formula One Miami Grand Prix, despite being broadcast on Fox Sports 1 rather than ABC. However, F1 easily won the coveted 18-49-year-old demographic, both in terms of total number and share. That age group accounted for more than 1/3 of all Formula One fans. Less than 20% of NASCAR fans were. Larson's weekend highlighted his arduous racing schedule, which has earned him the label of greatest of all time among fans and competitors. On Friday night, he was involved in a scary incident at Lakeside Speedway while competing in the high-limit racing sprint car series. He returned to Kansas Speedway on Saturday morning and qualified on pole. After winning Sunday's race, he flew to Indianapolis to prepare for a Monday night sprint car race at Kokomo Speedway before starting Indianapolis 500 practice on Tuesday. Chad Knaus, Hendrick Motorsports VP of Competition, marveled, "A very short memory is all I can think. I mean, he just goes and goes and goes." And the thing that I've always been impressed with Kyle since he showed up at Hendrick Motorsports is that he is unfazed, like nothing really gets under his skin. He doesn't get wound up. He doesn't get emotional about maybe something that happens on the racetrack. He doesn't carry weight on his shoulders when they have a bad race or whatever it may be, Chad Knaus explained. This victory propelled Larson into the Cup Series points lead, 34 points ahead of teammate William Byron. It was his third win in the first 12 races, the quickest he'd ever accomplished that feat. Larson's accomplishment takes on significance as he prepares for his second attempt at the double, which entails finishing all 500 miles of the Indianapolis 500 and all 600 miles of the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day, Memorial Day weekend. I just think it's really cool. I think it's good for our team. I think it's good for our sport. I think it's good for racing. You know, that the Cup Series point leader is competing in the Indy 500 for the second year in a row. I would say last year was a goal of mine. This year, I didn't really think about it, but I do think it puts even more of a spotlight on us and our sports, Larson stated. The weather thwarted last year's attempt. Rain delayed the Indianapolis 500, in which Larson qualified 6th and ran competitively before getting disqualified for speeding, sending him to 18th place. The delay prevented him from starting the Coca-Cola 600. When he finally got in Charlotte by helicopter plane helicopter, further rain stopped him from completing even one lap. Only Tony Stewart, in 1999, completed the double. Larson's Kansas effort included passing the 10,000 career lap lead record. He became the 22nd driver in NASCAR history to reach this mark, and only the 3rd active driver, trailing Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Ironically, both Hamlin and Busch had mechanical issues at Kansas. Hamlin's clutch difficulties ended his day, while Busch was involved in one of several late race crashes. The victory fostered a growing rivalry between Larson and Christopher Bell. Both drivers win 3 races in 2025, accounting for half of the season's total. They've finished 1st and 2nd in 4 races, with Larson taking 3 of them. Bell's 2nd place finish at Kansas was a career best. "I was surprised that he gave up on the top line on the last couple of laps and pulled down," Bell told me. "But I was struggling just as bad as he was." The technical challenges experienced throughout the race highlighted ongoing tire management concerns. Brad Keselowski appeared to be on his way to his first top 10 finish of the season until a tire issue while running 2nd put him into the wall with 72 laps remaining. Several drivers reported significant vibrations, and teams pushed air pressure limits to increase speed. Yeah, it's all of it. There's no one isolated reason why you have a tire failure and the vibrations are high. If you walked up and down pit road at all, you saw the rubber and the debris that was laying on pit road from when they took the tires off. The rubber's caking on the insides of the wheels. People were busting cords in their tires. That creates a vibration as well. The failures are from heat, which is a result of low tire pressure, load. There's so many things that go into it. It's rarely one singular thing that creates those failures, Chad Knaus explained. But I want to throw out there real quick. Goodyear does a really good job. They typically bring a very good product. What happened today, I don't think was necessarily a Goodyear issue. I think that was a competitor thing, where we were really pushing the limits of the cars and the tires. Knaus ended. Hendrick Motorsports displayed organizational performance in Kansas. At various points, all 4 cars displayed championship-level speed. Alex Bowman recovered from early damage to finish 6th. Chase Elliott led laps before a pit stop error cost him. Byron advanced from 21st to 9th place before being demoted to 24th due to tire troubles. Yeah, I think that if you take a look at it, we're maturing as a group. Obviously, the crew chiefs are now in their 3rd complete year of working together. Our drivers are maturing, working together, they dive in deep with one another, they lean on each other. The communication at Hendrick Motorsports has always been high, but I don't know that it's ever been as high as what it is right now, said Knaus. This feat is the outcome of team owner Rick Hendrick's 2017 decision to consolidate all 4 teams into a one facility. The organization functions totally transparently, with no hidden notes or secret meetings. Everything is divided among 4 teams. When discussing engineering or setup theory, all 4 teams meet in the same room. Larson's success at Kansas was not surprising given the track's history. Just a year ago, he beat Chris Buescher by 0.001 seconds in NASCAR's closest finish ever. The California native has now led the most laps in Kansas Speedway history, beating Jimmy Johnson's previous record of 197 laps set in 2011. You know, this is awesome weather to get to watch a cool race, so I'm glad to not win by an inch right here this time. A little bit safer gap. But thanks again to the team. Congrats to all Hendrick Motorsports, the engine shop, everybody there, Kyle Larson stated. Larson's collaboration with crew chief Cliff Daniels is continuing yielding results. They've been together since 2021 and have a strong interest for racing. Despite having minimal personal interaction during the week, their pre-race ritual now includes a varied range of music, from 80s and 90s rap to soft rock and Metallica. Larson's upcoming schedule appears to be fortunate. He has already won on each of the following 4 NASCAR circuits, which begin this weekend with the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro Speedway. So, will he win again? What are your thoughts? Is NASCAR becoming stale? Let me know your opinions in the comments section below.